The following is rated F for fairness. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Audio Show. All I've got is just for you. You ready for my beef tonight? I'm okay, just treat me right. Come in, me people, come in, me friend. What you gonna do when you come to defend? Question ask, me answer them. Wheel it up and pull it up and mash again. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
Friends, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's a special evening. It's always such a great time for me to hang out with y'all and chit chat with y'all. I feel like we do so much here on the platform, and so O'Neil love it. O'Neil always loves it as he goes along. What's up, friends? What's up? What's up? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Am I too low on my chair? I think I'm gonna draw my chair down a little bit too much. There we go. Come again. Up. Come up. Up. There we go. Okay. Feel like my face is cut off in my. There we go. Good. Okay. So all right. So good evening, friends. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Hopefully I'm not too loud in your ear. Just let me know the volume is right. We're gonna talk this evening. We're gonna have a serious talk because I hear that I'm capping. I hear that O'Neil has been capping. Me hear say O'Neil a cap, right? I've seen the short from Skitlanta, O'Neil a cap. You know what I mean? So me hear say O'Neil a cap. O'Neil does not take too much seriously. Because it work already. It is what it is at the end of the day. So let's try to work into this podcast space and what's going on, because everybody has been arguing this. I don't show we're arguing, but we're arguing nonetheless because it's good. It makes for good, what you call now, discussion, right? Because I don't know, maybe you might get an opportunity for a podcast someday, or somebody might give you some opportunity. I don't know how you're going. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? Whoever knows? If you're going to get something of this sort. So let's jump into this evening and let's just do it real quick, right? So this was the lawyer entering into the room and the lawyer speaking about what's going on. So let's kind of look at what the lawyer says. Read this contract thing. Let's start right here. So first, what she's talking about with the contract.
Okay. So I did have a chance to look at everything, and based on what is drafted in here, y'all get your fee, right? So for your appearances, you get your fee. Mm-hmm. But there's no back end, so there's no revenue split, so you're not getting any percentage of the shares after that. Beyond that, it's purely just your fee, and Wayne keeps 100% of everything else. So yeah.
Wait. I'm trying to understand, because I really thought that I was reading this wrong. Mm-hmm. So you're saying if we get, I don't know, a lipstick deal, we get nothing from that?
No. So the good news is, as it pertains to the podcast specifically, Wayne gets 100%. But anything else that y'all have, any new dealings, all of that, you get to keep that.
So,
all right, stop here, sir, because Amber is just going to talk. And so this was very, very important for you to listen to, okay? So listen to what them just said just now. Now, they get a fee, okay? So they get a particular fee. There's a fee that they get, which is great, okay? That's number one, which is good. Them get a fee. But they also, what the lady is saying as well, which is the lawyer is saying, is that if they get whatever brand deals there are in the podcast, Wayne gets the payment for that. If they were to get a brand deal outside of the podcast, they would keep that. That means that basically it's not an exclusive deal. You hear that? It's not an exclusive deal. Just making sure you get some context before Amber ramble on for whatever it is, because we're now going to listen to this piece. I'm going to go into another clip. So it's not an exclusive deal. That simply means that, let's just say these girls, and you can't look at the Amber fans who are looking at Amber as Amber, the woman that plays in Kountry Wayne, is looking at Amber incorrectly. It's not Amber who plays in Kountry Wayne. It is Amber, a woman being played, who basically does not do, no one knows her, okay? Nobody know her, nobody knows any of them. No one knows any of these ladies, All right? No one knows them. So you have to look at it that way. Nobody knows. It's like me and you going up to any other place and asking them for an opportunity. Nobody knows us. All right? Nobody know me. Okay? And I'm putting myself in it as well. I'm saying I'm not a star. At this point, I'm not a star. I haven't done anything. So it don't matter right now. Nobody going to say, well, O'Neal, let's just pay you $2 million. All O'Neal have is a YouTube platform show. That's about it. Nobody knows me. You do, but you don't. You know what I mean? Okay? So let's just take that into context. All right. Let me read y'all's comments here, so friend. Delenciaga is a double crosser, backstabber to everyone. Wayne, take the leader from her. She's been doing a lot of things, and it's about to unravel these facts and receipts for an hour. You know me going to work it, Terrell. Just give me a couple minutes. Let me get into there. No one knows about these 5 females that are about to start a podcast. Majority of podcasts takes a little time to go viral if nobody don't know you. So basically, these ladies are riding on the back of Kountry Wayne. They're not doing this because they basically are not going to, they're using Kountry Wayne as the marker. Kountry Wayne is going to be the main thing first until they know these girls. Nobody knows any of these women. No one knows any of them. So I have some info as I go along, and I'm going to trade this back and forth. Number one, some people keep asking, well, it's their idea, and them can pattern the idea. Let me show you this right off of the cuff. Let me show you this right off of the cuff. Let me just give you this right off of the cuff so you can see it. No, you cannot patent a thing, the idea. So can you own a podcast idea? Let's do it in real time. Can you own the idea of doing a podcast? You cannot own you cannot own a broad idea or a general concept for a podcast. Intellectual property laws protects the actual expression of work once it is recorded, but raw concepts, themes, or formats remain free for anyone to use. Do you see this? I just want y'all to see this. You can't own. So when Honeypot Girl says, but it was my idea to start a podcast, you cannot own that. You can't own it. It's too broad and it's too general. I heard O'Neal was capping. Where is the capista? The person who said O'Neal a cap. Come up, man. So let me just show you this. When the Honeypot Girl says it is her idea, I want you to see. I'm glad you're here, Skitlanta. Let me start right here first. You cannot own a broad idea or a general concept for a podcast. That's number one. So just saying, oh, well, we was the ones with the idea of the podcast. You can't own that. It's too broad. You can't own it. So let's start right there, sir. Let's start right there, sir. And not imply, so we'll stop the cap. All right, Mama Mia. We're not sure what you're saying yet, but we'll get into it. Don't worry, Skitlanta. We'll get into it. We always going to get into it. Don't worry. We're going to get into it. So let's look at basically the lawyer asked some questions of the girls, right? Because she said, let her ask some more questions of the girls because the girls are not quite sure what they're looking for. So the lawyer gets done with them.
Of course, Wayne's going to put what he wants on the table, but now's the time for you all to sit here and think about, what is it that you actually want?
Well, it's nothing to really think about. I mean, I think we can all agree that we want ownership. We want a piece of the pie.
Okay.
Definitely want equity. Some of this back end, it's only right.
Right.
This was Shayla and I's original idea in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have done this on our own had we known it was going to end up like this. So this is really not fair.
And this is why O'Neal said, if you wanted to go do your own podcast, you should have done so. Let me put that back up again. You cannot own a broad or general concept for a podcast. You can't. You can't own it. I heard you, Skitlanta, but you can't own it. Sorry, mama, but you can't own it. You can't own it. This is what I was saying. You cannot own it. Don't agree with them having ownership. However, I do stand on Wayne's lowball contract offer as highly misogynistic in nature. It says that they bring no value. All right, no problem. Let's go in again. You keep using Google as examples of employees instead of co-creators, which that's what the lady's stance is. So stop the cap. You're directing the narrative instead of going with facts. But I'm trying to show you what is the value. If y'all say you're a code creator, what's the value? That's my question to you. You're not giving me the value yet. You're just telling me that they're co-creators of what? What is being created? Have they recorded something at Skitlanta to own in the public domain? You have a YouTube channel. You own everything on the platform. What have these girls recorded? Since you're telling me that basically you said them are owners. What do they own? What is there for them to own right now? Because you're going to have to answer that. That's the question you're answering. What perpetual do they have right now that they own? What intellectual property? You're not going to get that. And that's why Amber almost the only one talking about this crazy stuff, because they want to make sure Amber puts her 2 cents in and Wayne is going to come after her. You can't argue with people that don't know or haven't been in the podcast business. Show me the podcast y'all have been in, I'll wait. O'Neill, maybe they can copyright their individual stories and negotiate that in the podcast contract. If you want to do that, if you're going to say, hey, but that's if he buys it. That's if he buys it, George. But yes, you are correct. But as of right now, they don't own anything. And all O'Neill is saying, they have no leverage because you don't own nothing. You don't have anything you can really stand on to say, you know what this is worth. And basically, I know it's proprietary to me and no one else has this particular thing. I didn't make the rules of business. The rules of business existed before me and it will exist after me. It doesn't matter if Delicia is going to go after Dave. Who cares? All this is about who can get who. Amber stated that the fee he presented was fair. Hold on, Suzette. I'm going to get to that. So trust me, Suzette. I'm going to get to it. Because people said the offer was low, but I'm going to show them something. There are other areas of contract they want to change. Somebody says, Amber, what is it? It seems like they don't have a clue how long it takes to build up viewership. Correct. This is just basically emotions talking. It's just emotions. Right now we are talking about emotions. These girls can be replaced. Delicia and Shayla say they came up with the idea. Honeypot brought the investor. And again, there you go. You cannot own a broad idea or a general concept for a podcast. You can't own it. Saying I'm going to come up with a podcast that does what? What's the idea? Who is the podcast? You cannot own it. So in other words, Wayne, basically, they're at the mercy of Wayne. That's what I'm trying to show you. But instead of people trying to look at what I'm saying, they're not looking at what I'm saying. You're looking at your own things. O'Neill is just giving you fact. I'm not sure whose downfall I want more, Shayla or Delicia. Evelyn, Dave's ex, has her own brand, and we've seen her as a collaborator on some of her skits. Other people in the skits don't have that type of leverage. Wayne should have asked each of those girls to put up $1,500 each, or one of them, so they could talk about more about business. Correct. These girls have put nothing in. Okay, what Wayne is showing is how people put nothing into something, and they're trying to get basically everything out of it. They have put nothing into it. Are people going to watch solely because of his name is on the wall, or will they click because they have 5 gorgeous women discussing compelling topics that other women can relate to? Value. All right. People are going to watch for what I'm going to watch for. I don't know why they're going to watch, but that's what I'm saying to you. We don't know that yet. Right now, what we know is beauty. What we know right now is that Wayne has a name, and because Wayne has a name, Wayne will carry eyeballs to them. That's what we know. That's the idea that they're trying to show you from the skit. Wayne's name carries a weight. They have put time and effort into it. Wayne has put nothing but money into it. So Wayne hasn't put any effort. All right. Okay, the other podcast girls seem like they are Amber fans themselves because everything she says, they endorse it. Nobody there has a mind of their own. That is correct. All right, so let's keep running.
And I'm the one who brought it to Wayne to invest in the first place.
To invest. And actually, partnerships can be partly financial and the other part could be mental. So we bring stuff to the table. You know what I mean? Just because he's bringing the money doesn't mean that we're not bringing anything else. We're bringing our personalities, everything, our thought processes. So it's just not fair overall, just because of the finance.
That's valid. So I'll make sure to make a note for ownership for sure. What else?
I mean,
All right, so let me leave that right here, right? Because that's not enough to bring. Thought processes is not enough. To say you're bringing thought processes is not enough. If you don't have an idea copywritten, you're not talking about anything. But if you want to keep going, you can keep going. Or O'Neil is just going to give you facts. But let's jump into them dissecting the contract. Let's look at them dissecting the contract. Let's really talk about this. Look, O'Neil ain't going to rant too much. I'm just going to read comments and we're going to talk about it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. Exactly, O'Neil. You're so correct. The girls did not invest any money. And they've not invested enough in it to own anything. 5 gold diggers. It's an echo chamber in that room. That's what it is. What value do they bring? That's the question O'Neil is asking. And up to now, nobody not give me the answer.
So, what do y'all want to do?
I want to get this contract right. I guess we need to all get on the same page about what we really want.
Yeah. I'm thinking we should demand 50%. 50. I mean, why not? Are we not his equals? I mean, yes, he's bringing the money to the table. But we are bringing the talent and the beauty and the brains.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wanted to have 100.
All right. Talent, beauty, and the brains. Are talent, beauty, and brains scarce? Are talent, beauty, and brains scarce? Because here's what O'Neil does. O'Neil try to learn from the mentors that we have. And the mentors said, give me some lessons, boy, in my lifetime. They're about to learn a lesson on having a lawyer bill. Them for sure. For 3 straight days outside of her office. Baby Birkin bag loading. I just want to know. Because people are saying whatever it is. Our talent, beauty, and brains scarce. Is that scarce? Let me see what I want to say. Let me just remind you. Let me just remind you about podcasts out there. Let's just look for Joe Rogan. Because you see, only likes. This is Joe Rogan. Now, in case y'all don't know, Joe Rogan does very, very great numbers. Joe Rogan is one of the top podcasters. Is that some talent, beauty, and brains or what? What do you think? Talent, beauty, and brains? Is that some talent, beauty, and brains right in front of your screen? Come on, friends. Y'all say, listen to me. I'm listening to the people who say talent, beauty, and brains scarce in them. I'm showing y'all basically how podcasts work. Because y'all think it's just a bunch of beautiful women on a podcast. Y'all believe that once women beautiful, people just go and watch them because them look good. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry, y'all know something we don't know, you know? Want to know something with me and Riri and, the anti-reviews don't know. Maybe we don't know something. Tyrell, Moneyla, the other people them don't know. That's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has one of the #1 podcasts around. That's Joe Rogan. Let's probably try, I don't know, Shannon Sharp. Let's try Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp has a podcast, Club Shay Shay. Now, you know that Shannon was a star from Fox. In other words, the reason people are watching is because Shannon is a star and people want to hear what he's saying. I don't want you to get me literal beauty. The point I'm making is these girls aren't Joe Rogan. You said them have talent, brains, and beauty. Which means talent, brains, and beauty means it when translate to numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. I want you to follow me. You're saying talent, brains, and beauty is all them need. Once them have talent, brains, and beauty, the podcast is a go. I'm just giving y'all podcast. Wayne ain't no Joe Rogan either. No, he's not. But if Wayne is not a Joe Rogan, they're definitely not even close to a Joe Rogan. Them not even touch Joe Rogan on fingernail. O'Neal not even scratching the surface right now with Joe Rogan. My numbers that I have right now don't even come close. It's like dust as far as Joe Rogan is concerned. You don't make no money with looks. Everyone wants to hear what you're talking about something relevant. Again, they have never been on a podcast. Come on. Most don't last because the drama with this stuff, especially women. And that's why people don't do it alone. I have friends, family, and associates who are beautiful and come a dime a dozen. Why they keep talking about their looks? A few of them around the table is ugly inside. There you go. Took Joe Rogan over 10 years to build an audience. So that is interesting. How long did it take Joe Rogan to be successful in the podcast space? Hold on, because listen, y'all say, I just want to make sure we are talking a context, You see that? So when people have said the contract long and them can't believe and whatever it is, well, let's do a quick little thing. There you go, a quick little thing. Something quick. Interesting. Took Joe Rogan about 5 years of consistent publishing for his podcast, The Rogan Experience, to gain massive traction and become truly profitable. He launched the show on December 24, 2009, and by 2015, it was recognized as one of the most popular podcasts in the world. This is the leading podcast person right now. So if the girls are saying them going for the number one spot, this is the guy they're going for. I'm just saying, y'all, listen, if y'all are going to bring the juice, bring the juice. If you're going to bring the juice, bring the juice. Bring the juice, friends. Bring the juice. Let's keep going.
He should have 100% did this himself.
That's true.
It is called the Kountry Wayne podcast. I don't look like Kountry Wayne, but you're going to
Right, we did give him that.
Right.
You know, so
50%.
I just think it's fair, honestly. I mean,
Wayne is gonna flip the table over.
girl,
I mean that will make 10% each of us.
right.
and then he gets the whole other half. Yeah.
I mean, I know he gives his agents and managers percentages of everything, so why would we not get a percentage of everything? That's crazy. I mean, this, again,
that's a good point.
Yes, this fee is cool. I don't know any podcasts who start off just making money. You know, I know a lot of people, in this world. So
That's owners, though. When you hire hosts, you should get a nice.
well, it's not bad. The fee is.
Well, I think that
Listen to what they just said a while ago. The fee is cool. We're going to use the words they say. The fee is cool. The same Amber is saying it's not bad. So in other words, they're being paid. And they're being paid a cool fee. But let's go into the comments. Rogan had a following from other avenues prior to his podcast. Thank you as well. Michael, thank you very much. I love this. Okay, so for the women, you can't even argue with delusional people. You can't, because it don't make no sense. Amber is going to talk them out of a job. That's exactly what she's doing. Amber is going to pay her from her joint account. That's basically what she's going to do. Percentage or guaranteed money per episode. That's the choice. Let's read some of your comments. Okay, for the women arguing for these girls, what exactly should they get? What should they get? Wayne could have easily found 5 other women, which is kind of what I've been saying. If he have to find 5 other women, he can find other people and do a podcast. He doesn't even have to find 5 other women. He doesn't have to. Women don't necessarily predicate the success of a podcast. Wayne's name will get people for the girls, but just seeing that them and not him will lose the audience. It's called the Kountry Wayne podcast. Not necessarily. It could gain whatever it is depending on how they reach. But that's what you're saying. Y'all are out of your league. I thought people watch Shannon Sharp for his ex-NFL advice. I'm thinking of his Nightcap podcast with Ocho Cinco. Makes sense as well too. Only they're comparing apples to oranges. No, we're not. We're talking about the podcast space. If you're not comparing the podcast space, if you're talking about podcast Skitlanta and you're not talking about all podcasts, so you can get context, then it means, again, you have missed the mark on context. It means your context is not going to work because you're not looking at podcasts. What you're trying to do is to give me one box. You can't give me a box. You have to give the entire picture so you understand when you're arguing what you're arguing for. If you're not doing that, then that's why your argument sounds the way it sounds. What will I say when Country agrees to 25%? That he's an idiot for agreeing to these girls for 25% and them can get better. Look, if Wayne was to just know this, I wouldn't agree to it. But if Wayne is to agree to it, T-Baby, just so you know, I would think he's an idiot because I don't see the value. They have no value as of right now. As of right now, they don't have a value. All they do is come together and complain. I know, Anton, it's about Amber and Ernestine. It's good. But they don't have millions of views and subscribers. Correct. They don't. Wayne is going to fire them. So this was all wrong. They should really listen to Sarah. It's fine to me, but I haven't heard a concept for a show yet. Exactly. What the concept for the show there? What Wayne is showing you is the girls are focused on the wrong thing. This is what him said from before, and he's right. The girls are focused on the wrong thing. No, in the short term. Here's why they're focused on the wrong thing. They have no experience. They don't know how they're going to be able to take the flack from audiences. What going to happen to them when somebody like Skitlanta start challenging them and all of that? What's going to happen to them when a T-Baby start going off on them basically? How are them going to manage all of that? How do we know if they can manage that? How do we know if they can really manage when a Skitlanta and a T-Baby go off on them and start, saying things where, going against them ideas? Anywho, let's keep running it, friends, because the questions are going on.
This is Mr. Kountry Wayne that we're talking about, and he speaks about being real and he talks about a lot of business where people look to him more so business more than his comedian side. Mm-hmm. So how can we sit on a podcast talking about like we're bosses and we're boss babes and this, that, and the third, and we don't even have our business together on the end,
right? Not being
and we're
bosses
letting
in real
somebody
life.
sucker us.
Mm-hmm.
So Wayne is suckering them. Them say Wayne has suckered them. A female group. It's a female group. They say Wayne is suckering them. So the question is this. Is Wayne suckering them? Is Wayne suckering them? What's going to happen when a T-Baby and a Skitlanta start basically go off in the comments and them can't manage it? Right? And how it going to work? Well, you have to see them as employees. They haven't brought any value as yet, Skitlanta. Stop looking at them as employees. They have to be looked at as employees, Skitlanta, because they don't have a value. That Delisa is something else. She low-key wants Lauren gone. That's correct. Money making, I think so too, eh? No. Stop thinking of them as employees and start looking at them as co-owners till the contract is signed and your viewpoint will change. That may be so, but Wayne is not looking at them as co-creators right now because Wayne is saying they have not shown the signs that they're co-creators. They haven't shown the sign. Creating what? A podcast is not enough. They need more. Skitlanta, that was the point O'Neill is raising. Them need more than that. So let's look at some things, Skitlanta, because, I know them can't manage somebody like you. If these women were smart, when the podcast space was being built, they would have recorded episodes themselves just to show in what they can do. Exactly. They haven't showed anything yet. I want y'all to see something. What % of podcasts have success over 3 years? I want you to pay attention to this. Only about 1 to 5% of podcasts survive and succeed over a 3-year period, as the industry suffers from an exceptionally high dropout rate. because defining success varies. Industry data from platforms like Buzzsprout and Podmatch tracks longevity and episode milestones to illustrate the steep decline of shows over time. Do you see this? Let me leave this on the screen for you. This is not a cakewalk, because everybody is talking as though the podcast already is successful and there's nothing left for them. So I want you to pay attention. So in other words, them want to own something that don't even get no success yet. Do you see that? Look at this. Look at this. They're giving you, these are numbers in the industry. If you're not using this, then you can't talk about them being co-owners, because none of this is considered in their offer, Skitlanta. That's why you need to consider all of this. Because if you're not considering this, then you're basically you're negotiating blindly. You're negotiating without data. You're negotiating without any sense of the podcast space. The 3-episode drop-off, roughly 90% of podcasts fails to make it after their first 3 episodes. The 20-episode hurdle, of the 10% that survived the initial drop, another 90% quit before reaching 20 episodes. The 1% milestone, publishing 21 or more episodes automatically place a creator in the top 1% of all podcasts globally for longevity. The long-term baseline, out of millions of registered shows worldwide, only about 10 to 15% are actively publishing content within any given 90-day window. Y'all talk about stop the cap? Look here, if you're going to negotiate, you need context for negotiating a Skitlanta. If you're going to negotiate, you have to negotiate in a context. Go for some context and come back. Don't worry, man, I'm waiting on a Skitlanta. Just go get some context and come back. No worries, get some context and then come back. Then give me an offer. So them are going to say Google a lie too. Wayne gave them an opportunity to prove themselves when he suggested they do a mock session. I'm yet to see more sessions. All those perspective topics Shayla and T were writing down, nothing they have done as yet. There's nothing yet. These girls want ownership, but if it fails, they're spending more money than they're making. They will want Wayne to be left with all the bills while them pay for nothing. So let me ask you this. If the podcast fails, hold on, man. If the podcast fails, because that is plausible, right, Skitlanta? If the podcast fails, will the girls make money? Because that's your question, you know. If you want to know if your deal bad or not, this is your first question. This is your first question before you start anything. Before you start talking about who will make what. If the podcast fails, one moment, Bilderberg boy, I'm going to read your super chat. If the podcast fails, will the girls make money? That's your question. That's your question. Right now, as it stands, if the podcast goes down in 3 years' time, Bilderberg boy, I'm reading a comment. Bilderberg boy says Wayne should fire Amber and replace her with Denisha. Face card. Anyone seen Amber without makeup and a wig? She looks like a teenage boy from Indonesia. Come on, leave her alone. Oh, good God. Don't do that to her, Bilderberg boy. Don't do that to her. She's a good-looking woman. O'Neill, they need to focus and harness this energy into good quality present. Thank you very much, George. Into good quality presentation, because truth be told, Wayne's name will bring the viewers, but the girls will not be able to keep them. That's what Wayne trying to say right now. I don't even know if you all can even keep people. I don't know if it's going to go down. Look at the comments. I'm going to show you how people don't understand what's going on. They're getting a fee. If the podcast fails, this is a simple question. This is how I know some of y'all are unserious. It's a simple Question: if the podcast fails, will the girl make money? Will the girls make money? And y'all are saying no. How them finna make money and them a get a fee? Me just done. Me realize that this is why O'Neal realized that Amber fans have become a lot of level 3 and the extremists have become delusional. Everything Amber says now has become gospel. They need to stop saying we deserve. That's what it is. Them deserve. Everybody deserve. O'Neal deserve a show for Wayne pay for him too. Put me in the bracket. You know what? Wayne needs to give them 50%. But in the contract that if it fails, they need to put together and pay him back him investment. Let's see if they will sign it. Thank you very much. Bethany and Shara will be on it. Will be lit on the show. The women need a pilot. Need to pivot. They need a pilot. Chico, you're right. Content is key. Thank you very much. Beauty means nothing in the podcast space. Content is king in the podcast space, not beauty. Content is king in the podcast space. If I'm not talking about anything plausible, people will not listen to me. Uno wouldn't be on here talking with me. Not the girls. The beauty means nothing. That's why I'm telling you the beauty brings no value. It brings no value. Me just show you Joe Rogan face. Wait a minute, they're watching Joe Rogan for beauty? So they're watching Joe Rogan for beauty. They need to have Carly Red on the podcast because she has a name and she could bring in names and eyes. The only money they're going to make is their fee. Wayne is the one who is going to take that. Exactly. Wayne is the one who's going to take the loss. The only one making the money is them as of right now. The truth of the matter is they're stiffing Wayne and then they realize they must stiff him. That's why I told you this was them stiffing him. He makes nothing yet. Up to now, him no. What if he gets no brand deals for the next 3 years? You make it look like them are going to think there. What's 25% of zero? Because that's how much money that's coming in right now. Record labels. If the album flops, you owe the label money. Just saying. Sometimes. It depends on what you say, basically. You have to kind of let it go. They basically keep the catalog. Well, you know what? Generational wealth. I know what you're talking about. They will keep the catalog until them get their money. O'Neal all want Shayla. What is... What is it? She broke like dog. She want some money. 20% of zero.
No, like no way.
Well, I know what I want, and it's the money. I'm trying to make as much money as possible. Like I want to run it up. So.
Don't worry, Mr. What you're saying. Look here. They're trying to clean up. And if y'all have not watched Generational Wealth, he's very, very thought provocative. I love it. I like listening to him breakdowns. That was Wayne's fault not securing the terms of the contract before spending the money. This is why you're wrong, Skitlanta, because guess what? He can basically run them away and pivot and go get someone else. That's the point I try to show you. So they don't have their foot in the door. What you're telling them is to go at it with Wayne right now without them foot in at the door. No one knows you. Can you get some people knowing you first, at least? At least get them to know you first. The fact that these women are acting like Wayne is selfish when he's helped all of them out at a point, it's crazy money law, but at that, it no matter. It no matter how much money you spend. Skillanta, I have a business degree. O'Neal is actually right. With that, with what he's saying, don't worry, SWFL, O'Neal have one too. But you know, O'Neal just a chill out and a relax. O'Neal have one too. Because my first degree is actually a bachelor's in business. My master's is what's in social work, but my bachelor's actually in business. But me just not advertise it either. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's about how you're doing business. You understand? That's what I've been saying. Authenticity sells. The main one who wants 50% is the biggest faker. Liar. Fans will hate our fakeness. Correct, it fake. It fake. Could they say they want to invest a percentage in the podcast? If they're saying they're going to be investors, then they're talking. Sabrina, if them are investing in the podcast, then they're talking. But right now they're not talking because they're asking what they can take from the podcast. Them want revenue share. They want revenue shares and they want to be paid. Listen to all that sound. They have done nothing yet, but they want a revenue slice and they want to be paid. Listen to that. O'Neal, this podcast hasn't even started yet. And the first move they make is to stab Wayne at the back. Wayne should fire them all and get himself new co-host. That's what he should do. Them already have stabbed the man at the back. That's what's going on. But this ain't about you. This is about the girls that are already in Wayne's skit and they're successful. No, that's not what it's about. That's what you're missing. It's not about Amber that we know that plays in Kountry Wayne. It's about Amber, the girl that no one knows in Kountry Wayne. It's about Delisa that no one knows. It's about Shayla that nobody knows. It's about Lauren that nobody knows. It's about Honeypot Girl that nobody knows. That's what it's about. That's why y'all look on it like this. Because you're trying to mix your brain up. You have to think of this as a skit and what you're watching and the context of it. So you're wrong on that. Wayne has to fire at least one of them to make his point. The comments by people show me none of them have built any business themselves, just employees. That's correct. Because people think that money are just whatever it is. Revenue shares and a fee with no investment. None. Obviously, these girls have had intentions on the short skit that Wayne has produced and they already paid in real life. You can't use real life. You're talking about real life. That's not what we're talking about. So you miss the point. You're missing what's going on. You kind of miss it. Teresa, yeah, miss it. Yeah, miss it. Yeah, miss it. Thank you very much, Bilderborg, for the super chat. Don't agree with a 50%, but an 80-20 split at the end of the year. All of the fees are paid, including the salary. For what? But you have to state where you're going to bring that. Because you have to state that. Look here, I know only try big. I'm not trying to impose myself on you, but I'm just trying to say, what are you going to do with that? Stop gaslighting these people. What may I gaslight them? Exactly. They're looking at the real life. It's not the real life, friends. You have to look on the skit. No one knows them in the skit. It's not Amber, the person. It's Amber inside of the skit you're looking at. I see what's going on. I see what's happening. You're not separating your brain from real life with skit life. We're talking about skit. Get into the skit, friends. Get into the skit and read some comments. All of them are average people in Waynesworth. Thank you. This is not reality. Only Delicia has fans and followings from being a celebrity stylist. How is that worth 5%, let alone 50%? Thank you very much. Oh, boy. Stop gaslighting the people on it. Okay, so I did this today, right? I'm going to try to do this today, basically. Now, Skitlanta, unless you have some other data where you want to pull up on O'Neal, I don't mind. You know me, I can learn whatever it is that you want to learn. I don't mind. And I tried to give people an inkling into Charlemagne the God and him life and him in trajectory, right? And I tried to say that basically the aim of this is to show you where other people are coming from when them product get extremely big. So when Charlemagne the God got extremely big, like for example, the Breakfast Club, where he can now command $200 million, he didn't just try to get that the first time. He has had a trajectory. Him have a life. Him basically have a rise. In other words, a meteoric rise. And that's what I'm saying. The girls are not there yet. They are not there. They haven't made anything yet. No one knows them. So I went back into the early career of Charlemagne and I tried to show you. Him started in South Carolina as an unpaid intern. That's basically what we have so far. Then I said, stage name Charlemagne the God. Big break, 2006. Him went to Wendy Williams show. Do you see the trajectory? It's a trajectory. Then we basically look on everything else. So in other words, for Charlemagne to get to the $200 million or to where he can have 51% ownership in the Breakfast Club, that's the deal. Listen, I'm just talking to the few people. Listen, Me know me not talk to Skitlanta already. Me know say Skitlanta and T Baby and Ann Harris and the other people. Me know me not talk to them. O'Neal is already aware that y'all are not listening. I realize that on a tune O'Neal out. When O'Neal talk these days, on a tune me out. O'Neal are just like one guy, basically. You know, where you just tune out. Me don't know what it is, but on a tune me out. You understand? So I've just come to the realization that I've been tuned out by all of y'all, right? Me realize that I realize that I've been tuned out. So me just leave it go. Me I talk to the other side of the audience that wants to discuss this seriously. That's who we are talk to, right? That those are me know some people tune me out already. He's willing to help them make something and they're complaining. That's correct. Teresa, you're basically saying humans breathe oxygen. We already know that. They think that their pum-pum as given by Amber, given by Amber T and Lauren and Wayne to their investment. They want a return upon it. Shayla is tired. Shayla back tired. Me already. Is Shayla's pum pum tired? Them say Shayla pum pum tired. So them say Shayla pum pum tired. So Shayla want the money right now. Look, I've already understood. I'm not talking to y'all. Me get it. On a tune O'Neal out. So me done. Me already know what's going on. I know on the tune O'Neal out. No care how much data and facts me bring come when I was say me a cap. So me let it go. Is them say Shayla pum pum tired. Shayla wants money right now, so Shayla pum pum tired. Wayne is not negotiating and they will be gone. Okay. Would you say yes to their demands? Would you say yes to their demands? Yes or no? You have given this much amount of money. You don't make $1 yet. Would you have said yes to their demands? It's just a skit. Yes, it's just a skit, my dear. That's why we are saying it's just a skit. So it's a skit. But it's a skit for us to discuss. Amber should have invested in the podcast. She have the money to do it. Exactly. Bilderberg Boy, did I not read the super chat? I so apologize. Thank you for the super chat, Bilderberg Boy. Bilderberg Boy says, Wayne's character has always been generous. If they worked hard, he would grant them benefits outside of the contract. Their greed is being led by Amber. Thank you very much, Bilderberg Boy. That's what it is. Wayne is showing you how people get greedy and mess up them back. Unless I'm incorrect, the moral of this story is people get greedy when the blessing comes and mess up their bag. Remember, they're in this contract. Them suppose if they sign it, they're in it for 3 years. In other words, them can use 3 years and build their names and their clout. In fact, they can make outside monies while being in the contract. How? You ask O'Neal. Well, guess what? Wayne said every brand deal on the podcast belongs to him. Anything they get outside belongs to them. Just work that out. Just work that out. Just like how she would. No, I would suggest they invest a percentage. Nope. Thank you, Bilderberg Boy. They're wasting time with this lawyer trying to negotiate. They need to start producing something. They haven't produced anything. There's nothing on the table. After I put up all of the money, why would you give them anything? They have all experienced Wayne's generosity. I would say no, thank you. It's like they make it look like we're not generous, you know. That's what it is. They make it look like him not generous. The girls are already paid in real life. Ask Kountry Wayne, he'll tell you. All right, it don't look like you discuss it in a good faith. Teresa, you're not talk to us in a good faith. You talk to us about two separate things. We're talking about Skitland. We're not talking about real life. Real life, we can have a different discussion. We're talking about Skitland. So, I'll probably skip your comment then because you don't really discuss the topic. You discuss something else, right? It's not a real conversation. Or maybe I'll gaslight O'Neal. You know what? No worries. You're gaslighting O'Neal. It's all right. I get it. You're gaslight O'Neal. So, I get it. You're gaslighting me. If If they're already getting paid, they just need to sign the contract. So let's look at Jesse Larius. Does Jesse Larius, hold on, let me see if I can find her. See if I can find Jesse Larius have ownership in the Breakfast Club? I want y'all to pay attention to this. Jesse Larius have more, comparable. Jesse Larius would have more popularity than these girls if they're ratioing it out. Skit Life to real life, Jesse Larius have more popularity. That's what you're using, right? So look on Jesse Larius thing. Jesse Larius does not have any ownership stake in the Breakfast Club. She don't have no ownership. They haven't given her any ownership. Let's work on Charlemagne the God. Does he have ownership? Does Charlemagne the God have ownership from the Breakfast Club? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I think he might have like a 51% stake. Something to that effect. Let me see if I can get it for y'all. Here we go. He might have a 51% stake, but it's because Charlemagne the God has been building this. He not just get up day one and get 51%. Charlemagne just roll out of bed and say, I heart, you need to grant me 50% right now. Because I'm doing this show and because I am whatever it is. No. He had to build to get there. He had to build to get there. That was the point that O'Neal was raising with this. However you want to interpret the data, the point of the matter is this. They haven't shown anything. That's the point. They have shown nothing. Try to get the context of the argument. They have showed nothing. That's what O'Neal said. They have nothing on the table. There is no offer. There is no value. They bring no value at this point. None. Amber should tell them how long contract negotiations take when she asks for a percentage that you deserve. Right now, Amber is included in holding a divorce settlement for less than $200,000. Like who? Skitlanta, give me a co-creator that you can compare. Give me somebody that started from scratch that you can compare. That is huge now. To build or gain anything in life, you have to start from scratch, from the bottom. Wayne is not an angel investor. That's why I put himself on the podcast. You're missing that. He's not an angel investor. And by the way, Skitlanta, angel investors give you the money and you go work with it. Angel investors, Skitlanta, gives you the money and you go to work with it. So in case you don't realize, that's what should be actually happening. So Skitlanta is talking about it. She's asking a question about angel investors. So here, let's work. How does angel, investors work? Angel investors, there it is. In exchange for seed capital, usually, let me read it for you so you can see it. Yes, you ask for angel investor. Angel investors are wealthy individuals who use their own personal money to fund early stage startups in exchange for seed capital, usually ranging from $25,000 to $100,000 per investor. They receive an ownership stake or equity. And do you see that? Do you see that? Alex who? Alex Cooper. Let's work Alex Cooper. So you want us to explore these. Let me, hold on. Okay. All right. Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper. Let's see if we can find Alex Cooper. What are you telling us about Alex Cooper? What do you want us to know? There it is. Do you see this? Partner with her roommate, Sophia Franklin, in 2018 to launch Call Her Daddy, focusing on unfiltered locker room dating talk. So she started first. She had something. Barstool Sports. The show was quickly acquired by Barstool Sports within a month of its debut, driving rapid initial viral success. Did they start something? What did they start? Skitlanta, yeah, I missed the point. Them not start nothing, Skitlanta. They haven't started anything. You're taking us on a rabbit hole. You're taking us on a rabbit hole. You're taking the audience on a rabbit hole, Mamma Mia. Them not start anything. Them not own anything. That's the deal. Them not own anything. They didn't start it. What have they contributed? Angel Cook, thank you very much. Distributed by who? By Barstool. I just showed it to you. In other words, it took her some time to get there. Do you see it or you don't see it? Or you want to see it? But did they start before anybody else, or are you just saying that? All right, so let me give a little take over here. Listen to when Lauren asked some questions to Wayne. 13,000 in 2017. Last year, she made 42 million. People are now starting to correct you because you now get it. What have they contributed? These girls have cocked up in the office. Them don't contribute the office. What have they contributed? That's the question.
Fair contract. I get that. But me, I figured, you and I can come to a different agreement.
Heck no. You serious?
Yeah, I am.
No. What made you think I'd do that?
Because
Because what?
I'm sitting here with you. I just figured we could have a different...
No, I'm talking about, hey, this Wayne and business Wayne, two different people. I don't know what you think. Just because we're in the house together, when it comes to business, you Lauren and you Lauren. You Lauren. Not beautiful Lauren. And then you the Lauren on the podcast. You ain't proved nothing yet. So a different contract. What, you want to get less? Or you trying to get more?
I definitely do not want to get less. I want to get more. I feel like I deserve more.
There you go. Do you see how Wayne argues this? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. This was not Wayne's idea. He's an investor. All right, to that. Tanya, I'm going to show you this again. I'm going to show you this. Do you see this, Tanya? Tanya, do you see that? I want to put that up on the screen for you. You cannot own a broad idea or a general concept for a podcast. Intellectual property law protects the actual expression of work once it's recorded. But raw concept, themes, or formats remain free for anyone to use. As of right now, they have nothing. What I'm trying to get you to do, Tanya, is if you get in a position like this, you don't get emotional. You start to think, hey, what do I need to get so when I start talking to this guy or girl or whoever it is the person that you're trying to get to help you with the funding, you can know what to tell them. That's the aim of this. Do you see that? You can't own it. So all that idea stuff that y'all been, but it's their idea, you can't own it. you have nothing. They have nothing. They have no leverage. And this is called business. You need leverage. You need something called leverage. What do I have that Wayne wants? That's the question. What do I have that Wayne wants? Beauty, I can go find other beautiful women. Brains, I can go find a bunch of people with brains. Personality and spunk, I can find that too. Let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking. There is no however. Amber's greed is going to be her downfall in her relationship. Thank you very much. And her divorce and the podcast. Amber is really a boss or a businesswoman, because if she was she's not. Because if she was, she would know how to conduct exactly. It has shows that she have a lot of flaws in her thing. But just I tell you, there are two types of people who never do business with: family and friends. These people are talking about he's an angel investor. Please show us proof. What episode explain that? Did he explain this? If not, then stop with the narrative. I'm not an angel investor. Plus, you didn't bring a patented idea to him. So in other words, they didn't do business either. I realize that y'all just talk from some space. Here we go. Bilderberg boy says, one of the five essentials in starting a business is to share the risk. Wayne has all the financial risk and must recoup his investment. I asked you a while ago, if this podcast fails, does the girls lose anything? And people told me yes, in a nutshell. Listen to what I said to you.
What? Why?
Because it's me. You know me. So you already know you should have confidence that I'm going to bring something different to this podcast.
Well, you know me. It's me. And I got proof that I could bring something different. Because his name is Kountry Wayne. And I put the work in. So, baby, don't go like that. No. No, I'm trying. But however know you want to know it. I can say it a bunch of ways. No, and no. No. Hell no.
You hear him say? What have him saying put the work in? They haven't put the work in. That's what Wayne is saying. He's telling you. Only why is this even a conversation among, I don't know. But I realize that this is what happens to us. This is how when we get an opportunity, we don't know when we see one. No, because they still are being paid their salaries. They don't even have the podcast idea writing on any type of contract. Correct. Them don't have it down on any contract. They own nothing. Them going to lose them job. No, they did nothing. No. Amber has no business sense. That's what I'm learning now. She'll talk about your boss. Which boss? What kind of boss? Wayne wants to sell their messy life story. Not necessarily. He will fire them. If he has to fire them, he will. He's been saying that. He must say, hey, if he need to fire them, he will. Listen to him say again. I'm going to give you all the clips of him. Because basically, him saying, sure, it could sell, but if he has to get other people, he will. Because at this point in time, in a sense, he could pivot. He could pivot. He could pivot from all of this. So that's what I'm trying to show people. They don't have any leverage, friends. And the leverage I look for in a friends. What is the leverage? This is Wayne right here, so.
But one thing I know for sure, I'm never letting you go. I promise. Now that I can promise.
Okay.
I'm never letting you go. Never.
Well, if you're never letting me go, then I might need to tell you something. But I need to be talking to my man, Wayne, not the businessman.
Listen to Wayne, because he's going to answer the question.
Wayne.
Okay, your man Wayne is here.
So the girls, they got a lawyer. They promised me not to tell you, so please, you cannot say anything.
So you made a promise not to tell me about the lawyer. So they got a lawyer.
I'm telling you, they're not messing with those contracts for real. They are not happy with the contract that you showed us.
So what they think that's gonna do? Like what?
I mean, we met with the lawyer.
I'll tell you what. First of all, thank you. Thank you.
What they think that going to do? That's what we're gonna ask.
But I'm telling you this, mano a mano. Don't fall in that trap with them. Don't follow that. They going in with the wrong attitude already anyway. The name of the podcast is the Kountry Wayne Podcast. You feel me? So whatever the lawyer talking about or what the lawyer ain't about to do nothing but take y'all money.
That's what Wayne told them. The lawyer is not going to do anything but take your money because he doesn't have to do anything. But let's read some comments. Y'all are drinking the O'Neill TV Kool-Aid. So many don't. Some may just don't understand. This is prime example why people are taking advantage in the industry. They don't know or understand their rights. We know what the rights are, Skitlanta, but the thing is, you have to understand, you're trying to ask yourself the question, are you trying to basically get into the space or you're not? You could do all the right stuff you want, but I can decide what I want to pay you. Again, if I was in Wayne's shoes, I wouldn't pay them either. I mean, I wouldn't give them a percentage of whatever it is either. No, would I offer you maybe say down the line, getting a percentage in there when they get more popular? Maybe. But at this moment, no. Heck to the no. You wouldn't get it. Wayne is an habitual enabler to the women entitlement. So he will probably give in. That's the only little thing. Lauren is going to drop a dime on Amber. So, Skitlanta, you have come up with all of these narratives and never shown evidence in what you're saying. O'Neill has. Until then, we're waiting for your evidence. Just move on. Next person says, he straight asked for 3 years with no option. That's why you negotiate. Option of what? Like, you mean 3 years option and then what? You mean like for buy out the contract? Hey, you know what, Tanya, you're raising a good point. No option. How long is Jess Hilarious contract with the Breakfast Club? How long is it? It's not been publicly discussed, so we don't have it. Let's see. We don't have it. How long is Charlemagne's contract? Now, I already have it right here. So Charlemagne's contract, Tanya, I want you to look at this. I want you to pay attention to this, Tanya, because you know O'Neill. O'Neill's about data. Charlemagne's $200 million contract with iHeart. I'm just giving ideas. When you have a big person coming behind your contract. Charlemagne's contract is, I think, a 5-year, I believe it's a 5-year contract. 5-year, $2 million. Give me one moment. Let me make sure I can verify it. How long is Charlemagne's contract? Hold on. How long is Charla? How long is Charlemagne contract with the Breakfast Club? 5 years. You see that? I want you to look at this. There you go. Contract length, 5 years. Value, that's what it is. 3 years is peanuts, my dear. 3 years is peanuts, my dear. Peanuts. We're not talking about anything. Trust me. We're not talking about anything. We're barely scratching the surface. Tanya, I'm barely scratching the surface with this. If y'all are going to come in and argue, give me some things, man. Give me some stuff, ladies. Don't make it so easy for me. Y'all make it too easy for O'Neill, man. Don't let me get out tight, man. Argue me, man. Don't make it so easy, ladies. Don't make it so easy. I want to show you something, Tanya. I want you to view this in your brain. Only 1 to 5% of podcasts survive and succeed. Tanya, put this in your brain first before anything else. Put it on the backdrop of Wayne has already spent. Wayne is $240,000 in. He'll be paying everybody that's going to do things on the podcast. Everybody, including the cameraman, the editor, which is expensive, and all of those things. He's going to pay for all of that. All right, let's read some comments. You know O'Neill. O'Neill is not just giving you any little old thing. O'Neill is talking. We got to get some substance in here today. We're getting some substance. Wayne is not going to entertain this foolishness from these ladies. Wayne is going to quickly fire them and move on. That's what he should do. I would have kicked them and the lawyer out of my office who were plotting against me. Then they would know the real pettiness. Wayne doesn't have to offer them anything down the line. Correct. And not have to even do it either. O'Neal, he did it. He did give them an option. If they wanted to leave, he will then they can leave. A whole lot of family members are watching without even hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, friends. Thank you very much, Lydia, for doing that. Thank you very much. And Angela has been actively, and Goddess has been actively. I graduated with Charlemagne's cousin, who is a big party promoter in the tri-state area. It took Charlemagne 10 years before he got a contract extension. Stop playing games, man. Stop thinking you're going to get something for nothing. It took him a while to get there. Lauren thought that she knew Wayne. She thought he was like the other men. You're talking about anecdotal point of view, Skitlanta. If what you're saying is true, then Skitlanta, tell you what, I'm going to challenge you. I want you to go to any of the places right now, and I want you to ask them to spend money on your podcast. Skitlanta, if you are correct and I'm wrong, meaning everything you tell me right and where you have is right, I think you have a wonderful platform. I want you to approach one of the big moguls, iHeartRadio, Apple Radio, I don't know, whoever it is, Pandora, whoever. I want you to approach them with the idea of your podcast and give me the outcome, because I'm looking for it. Maybe you can teach O'Neal something. And you know, O'Neal, I don't mind learning. The one thing about your boy is him never mind learning, because learning is key. O'Neal, have a question. There you go. I want you to go ahead and do that. Thank you very much. 1 to 5% says it all. Wayne is taking a big risk. That's what people are not seeing. The risk. Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco was established and Ocho Cinco joined. Correct. Shannon was established when Ocho Cinco, but Ocho Cinco was on TV before the Shannon Sharp thing as well. So Ocho Cinco would have, what you call it? He would have basically, he would have people already who would listen to him, because they were already on like TV. O'Neal, Sonny is one of them to go. Sonny is one of them to go now. Okay, you want her to go now? O'Neal, Wayne told Lauren that he makes over $7 million a year. He likes her, but she's such a scammer. She says she keeps trying to take from him, and all she has to do is like him, and he will give her anything. Exactly. That's it. And Wayne just testing her. Wayne is not taking any of the risk. The ladies. Nadine, you gaslight me this evening, Nadine. Don't worry. Nadine says Wayne is taking none of the risk. Try the DoorDash first. O'Neal, what you're saying may be factual in real life. However, we know Skitland has its own roots. I already know that in a Jet Black. That's why we're just discussing the topic. We're discussing the topic and we're trying to find out, how do we look at this? That's what we're doing. They've given us a scenario. We already know so it's basically whatever it may be. They've given us this topic and we're now basically examining the topic. And we're saying, is it fair as to what this character is doing? What do you think about this character? That's what we're doing. We're just examining that. Amber did have a podcast with Sarah and Ernestine, and it did not work. So that's what I was trying to show you. So if you want to talk about Amber's podcast, let's work on Amber's podcast. Amber Ty podcast. Let's work on Amber Ty's podcast. Amber Ty's podcast, the last time they posted was when? Let's look at its negotiable podcast. So let's work on the podcast. I'm trying to show you how podcasts. Now, this is why you're seeing. So let's pull up our real life podcast. This is Amber's real life podcast. The last time she posted was 2 years ago. Let me put this up on your screen. The last time she had an episode was 2 years. Just giving you all some context. Look at Amber's numbers, 14,000. This is not easy. You can go into it and basically work out. So I'm showing you why Wayne could fail and why it's a risk. You're making, you see, I made the point for me, Natanya. You're showing me why it can be a risk. No, you would think that people would know Amber. Look on our numbers, 7,000, 5,000, 2,000, 9,000. Those aren't numbers for a big old successful part. Well, meaning successful in terms of like a Joe Rogan or a magnitude of what they're spending for it. Because I want you to understand it. Success depends upon where you are and the numbers that you spent. If you don't spend nothing into it, then sure, that's successful. But if you're talking about Wayne spending a 240 in it, this wouldn't scratch the surface based on the monies he's invested. I want you to pay attention for this. Let's look at Sarah's podcast. Sarah Fontanant. Here we go. Sarah have a podcast. Sarah is still going on her podcast. Look on Sarah podcast. She have 72,000 people. She's still going with her podcast. 6 days ago, so Sarah basically constant. Look how she have to do the numbers them to get there. This is not easy. Like people will make it look like, say, you're going to just drop out of bed tomorrow and make some money. That's not true. That's what Wayne was telling them. When did she start this? 2023. We're in 2026. I just want to give y'all basically context because context matters. That's all only like doing, just to give you some context. That's all me I do, give you some context. That's all.
Who paying for it?
I mean, the lawyer even promised or made me promise that I wouldn't say anything.
So the lawyer know about me and you, huh? Yeah. I tell you what. This is gonna be a learning lesson for you. You. That's why I say you're doing the right thing. You with the source here, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing y'all gotta do is do y'all job. Y'all worried about the wrong thing first. Like y'all ain't proved nothing.
Correct. So in the Skitland, Tanya, no one knows them. You can't talk about hindsight. No, but you're okay. Tanya, you're not talking about Amber, who has done a podcast. You're talking about Amber, who basically is not known. No one knows her. You're talking about an average woman. She's playing the average woman in the skit. Like me and you. Out of the blues. Yes, Sarah. She be on the net. Correct. O'Neill. My sweet Sarah. And Sarah has to be grinding to get this going. Sarah has to be grinding. I don't understand the grind Sarah has been doing because I've been watching her. She have to go on other podcasts to promote, and she's been doing it for a while. She's been grinding. And she's still not there yet. That's why Sarah said what she said. People are so delusional nowadays. They're just like fantasy. That's true. Anybody in the chat acting like they were in Wayne's shoes, you would let these ladies want ownership without putting in any money and wanting the perks is cap. That's what's cap. Thank you very much. Flawless victory. Wow, I didn't know that. Correct. I'm starting to dislike Amber because she acts stupid. Acting like a blonde. Look here. All Only is trying to do is to give you context. I'm not try hate on the character. I'm just try go to some context so I understand that what the risk is for Wayne and what basically the reward is for them. So that's all we're doing. We're just talking about it. Bottom line, it's Wayne is the brand. The girls have no brand. Even in real life, hindsight has no value. After you have made an initial investment, correct. I love this Bilderberg boy. Thank you very much for putting this. So hindsight can't, them things don't matter. Right now, you need foresight right now. Bilderberg boy, thank you very much for the super chat and it was well worth it. Sarah has one of the big podcasts in real life. She goes on the other podcasts and special guests. Correct. She's been grinding. You know how much people have been grinding on this thing? People have to grind. That's what I'm telling you. People have to grind to get this going. This is the deal. The girls have brought nothing. And Wayne is telling them they have brought nothing yet to him. That's what they're saying. I would have more respect if these ladies were doing practice runs on camera, like the football and watching and critiquing themselves for successful launch. Real work and not crying. They're not even working. That's what Wayne telling them. Them are worried about the wrong thing. That's what Wayne's saying. Thanks for the info, real rooster. Real Rasta, where's a real Rasta? Because you've been giving some nuggets. Wayne said that they will have to keep paying the lawyer the $750 every time they show up. Correct. Joe Rogan was a fear factor and commentator on MMA before he started his podcast. Do you see this? People have had to do things before they got there. That's the point. People have missed on the entire thing. When I missed that on the thing, look, Look at Howard Stern. He worked for 28 years before he received his landmark contract from Sirius Radio. That's what I say. They have put no energy in yet. Nothing put in yet. There is no effort yet. There is not enough effort yet for them to be commanding anything. We're not talking about the Amber did in real life with Ernestine and Sarah. And even if you use that, it still isn't even measure either. What was your last comment, Skitlanta? I'm going to read your last comment. O'Neill, I would never enter another bet with you because you don't hold up the end of the deal example. But it's oh, never gonna manage a Skitlanta. Suppose them get a Skitlanta. The point of the matter is this, friends. Would you give them what they want if you're in Wayne's shoes? Would you give them what they want if you were in Wayne's shoes? Don't worry. Because I already understand. This is the deal. I already get it. Skitlanta gonna do what she do. It is what it is. Amber should get 50% because she's in the GLD. Nobody don't know what she think. O'Neill, Sonny is one of them to go on the podcast. Sonny can go up on the podcast. Eh? I think it is fair that they get a percent on the deals from outside. Well, Nadine, if you listen to the lawyer says whatever they make outside of the podcast is theirs. Whatever they make in the podcast inside, in other words, whatever revenue comes into the podcast, Wayne says, I keep that. This means if GLD sees Amber and they say, you know what, Amber, I want you to wear the gold chains on the podcast, and she wears them on the podcast and gets money, guess what? He's not taking money from them. That's what people miss. So in other words, the opportunity is there for them, but they haven't seen it because they miss it. Them eyes fogged up. All they do is play dress up to see who is dressed the best and sit around the table and talk about what they're going to have for lunch. That's basically it. Sarah left Amber and Ernestine in real life because they wasn't talking about topics that people wanted to hear and they needed to hear. She split from them, and look who is more successful. They're gonna be getting. Hold on. I want everyone to have that. Hold on. Woo. Hold on. Give me a moment here, friends. Hold on. I want to know why she left. I want to know why. This is what they're saying. Why did Sarah leave the podcast with Amber and Ernestine? Why did she leave that podcast? That's a very good question. They're gonna be getting a paycheck and they haven't produced. Gina, it can't be better than this. It cannot be better than this. I don't think people understand what's going on. You can't get any better than that. Them getting paid without doing anything. Amber's podcast. Let me say Amber's podcast. Hold on. Let's find our podcast. And because I want to know why did they leave. Let's see. Hold on. Let's take this because I don't want us to really go there, right? So we're gonna go there. It's negotiable. Why did Sarah Fontaine leave the It's Negotiable podcast? Why did she leave the next one? No, I don't have it. I cannot find it. I cannot find it. I don't see it. So what I'm hearing is that she left the podcast because they weren't talking about topics people wanted to hear. I'm showing you. They were all pretty women then. Why they never make it? Why she leave the podcast? Do you see that? So in other words, it's not just prettiness that makes you get successful in the podcast space, I want to pay attention to this, right? Let's use our real life we're gonna flip out a little bit. We're gonna do what you want us to do. Who do you want me to do this again? Teresa, we're gonna do what you want me to do, Teresa. I'm gonna do what you want me to do. I'm going to go over to Amber's podcast. This was Amber's podcast, right? This was the podcast she had. Sarah was on the podcast as well, right? Let's see how much videos they have for whatever it is. Are there any more videos? That's it. So they had a podcast together. Do you see this? Do you see this? Don't play no games, you know, because y'all think because you're pretty, podcasts make money, you know. I just want y'all to see this thing. Ernestine is a good-looking woman. Not because I joke around with Ernestine. She's a great-looking woman. Amber is a great-looking woman. Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'm gonna wait. Don't worry. Friends, I'm waiting. Trust me, friends. Don't worry. Come and tell me why. This podcast never got a brand deal. I'm still waiting. What happened? What happened was they might not be talking about things that people want to hear. Okay, and sometimes that's how podcasts work. It takes a while to break through. That's what Wayne was saying. It takes a while for breakthrough on podcasts. That's why Wayne is saying they haven't proven anything yet, because there is no proof yet that you can last 3 years. So Tanya, that's why they should take the 3-year deal, because that's how they're going to show that they can last 3 years. Then they're sure them can last the time. Girl, your face pretty, but your character dirty. I got more views on my little channel than them. Kool-Aid, you think. O'Neal is not even big enough, and even me would I tell Wayne, say, you know what, Wayne? O'Neal not even big enough. And do I have some views? Of course. O'Neal have little views here and there. Look, this is O'Neal TV. I'm not going to be no whatever, but I'm saying, let's just say Wayne tackle me and say, O'Neal, I want you to work underneath the Kountry Wayne podcast umbrella. Just like Drink Champs is underneath Charlemagne's, what you call it, umbrella. But let's just say them decide to distribute O'Neal TV. Even me, I may not have much. Even me would have say yes to whatever it is. Let's look at O'Neal's little thing what O'Neal have going on. Let's look at what O'Neal have going on. This is what O'Neal have going on right now. Even little O'Neal page. I'm going to show you. This ain't easy. This is not easy, friend. This is not easy. To be honest, this is really and truly on the back of Kountry Wayne. The views are coming. Now people trusting O'Neal some more, and them can watch some more from O'Neal. But to be very, very honest, this is because I'm discussing the Kountry Wayne topic, something people want to listen to. Let me be very, very honest. Let me not kid myself, because you know O'Neal don't cap. I'm not into the capping session. Look on O'Neal look a podcast what I have going on. 28 million views, 4,000 videos. Me start January 2020. Well, that's what it says. I've started before that, but I had a different channel before. Stop the cap. And O'Neal still, if Wayne came and said, O'Neal, I'm going to give you a little salary for whatever, I want to know what the salary is, what the timeline is, and just tell me exactly what we can get out of it. And O'Neal said, don't worry yourself. Right now the channel makes some amount of money. I could have brought it to him and said, Wayne, this is what the channel makes. Just give me my fee on this for the next 3 years and let me do the work. Just give me the promotion. Tell me what you want me to get done. Let me get a little podcast set up and I will work at it. That's how you do business, friends. That's what I tell y'all. Y'all make it look like, when, even me, I tell you, even me, humble enough to tell you that. No, yeah. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling y'all, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all O'Neal has said. O'Neal now try to see if he can down the girls then. But even my little show. You know what I mean? Misty, you need to be there if you listen to O'Neal and little show. You understand? Looks have nothing to do with substance and relevance. Thank you very much. O'Neal, My boy, and you have personality. There you go. And O'Neal still have a grind. Every day I come on to the platform, I have to grind. I have to grind again. And I have to grind again. And O'Neal have to grind. You think O'Neal can just let up? Skitland, I'm sure you're grinding on your show. What the name? Riri, grinding. Sharon Reviews, grinding. Nanya, I think, still grinding. Deontay Reviews, still a grind. Raw Reacts, grinding. Coolhead, just like now, him say grinding. Generational Wealth about to start grinding. Goddess, grinding. One Journey, grinding. I hope y'all are seeing what people are saying. That's what people are saying. There is no grind by the people yet. People are grind. Ashley, chop it up. Me see her in the thing grinding. People are grind. Where the grind where the girl them put in yet? But you know what? I'm going to leave the commentary here, friends. I'm just telling y'all. That's all I'm saying. But let's see what he does tomorrow. I don't know. What will he do? All right? I don't know what he'll do. It's simple if he takes it. But my premonition is that him should walk away from these girls and go start him own thing. Anyways, friends. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. It's always a pleasure to have these conversations. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. I'm out for the evening, friends. I love y'all very, very much. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the O'Neal Show. All I've got is just for you. You ready for my beef tonight? I'm okay, just treat me right. Come in, me people, come in, me friend. What you gonna do when you come to defend? Question ask, me answer them. Wheel it up and pull it up and mash again.